Today's tutorial is how to decorate a jacket to fit into your ouji or kodona boy style. And I started out with a basic black jacket that I got off from a sale from Kappahl, I think. And this was about €5, so 5 or 7 euros, so not that expensive. And the first thing you want to do, and the easiest thing, is to change the buttons. I also, which you can't see from this far out with my lighting, but I also added lace all the way and some golden details, and I will also be making a brooch, but I don't have the kind of clippy thing to the back, so I can't do it yet, but so that I can add it wherever I want to add a bit more gold to the top. And I'm sorry my hair looks weird, I just bleached it and now I'm gonna just let it rest for a while before I kill it with purple again. So, no wig today, but this is the jacket, and it's really easy to decorate a jacket and it doesn't take a lot of money. I got all these accessories that I added on for about 15 euros altogether combined. I had a golden necklace that I butchered for these, and it just takes time because everything I added on had to be hand sewn, so it takes time. Pick a good movie to play on the background and just sew away. But here is how I did the jacket. This is what the jacket looks like when I bought it, and here are the plain and boring buttons, which we are going to change first, because buttons are the easiest way to change the feel of the jacket. It's a bit wrinkly and full of cat and or bunny hair, but we are going to change that as well. Okay, so now I've changed the buttons on this side, and the most important thing you want to do is to find buttons that are the same size as your old ones if you ever want to close the jacket again, because if you take too big buttons you can't fit them through the buttonhole, and if you take too small buttons it won't stay closed. But as I am going to wear this open, it doesn't really matter what size buttons I have, and this only has one buttonhole. But you want to be very careful about choosing the size of your buttons if you ever want to close the jacket again. And if you change the buttons, you want to go for something a bit showy. The buttons I chose have this kind of emblem on them, and it's going to look nice with my black and gold details on the jacket. Now that I've changed the buttons, I'm going to sew lace all the way up and around the collar. I had to hand sew the lace on, so I didn't film it because that would take forever, but I put the lace on the collar as well as the sleeves. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this golden, it's not lace but embroidery thingy, all the way to the cuffs of the sleeves, as well as sew my extra buttons on to the sleeves as well. I contemplated on putting this gold here as well, but it ended up looking a bit too much. But if you want, you can also put it to the collar if you wish. This also has to be hand sewn, so I'm gonna quickly show you how I sew this on. I make teeny tiny stitches at the top and the bottom and it leaves a small mark, but I don't really care because not most people are going to look this closely at this, and I don't really know how else I would go about doing this. So I just do this all the way around. This is what the sleeve now looks like with the lace and the gold and the button. And the next thing I did, again hand sewing, is that I added chain between the buttons, and this is just a golden necklace that I cut the last bit out of, and I just sew this in with the button. I don't know if you can see it that well, and made small loops because I like loops. And I also added chain to this brooch, however you pronounce it. And I'm also going to make a brooch out of this one. I got this from the fabric store for 50 cents, and I'm going to knit this up and make a brooch that I can either put to the sleeve or to the chest. But because I don't have the pin that I want to use to attach this to the jacket, I can't do that yet, but that is something that I will do in the future. And with that, the jacket is done. And here is a bit more of what the jacket looks like when I'm done. Still a bit wrinkly because I hate ironing, but as you can see, it's from a normal clothing store, and I added lace to all the edges. Here is my brooch and buttons with the chains. It looks a bit silly now that when it's in the hanger. And the sleeve and the sleeve button. And if you want, you can add your decoration here as well as to the bottom. But it seemed a bit overkill because I want my ouji style to be a bit more mature and toned down. So this is my jacket the way I want it. And someday I will add my brooch to it as well because I love this. I think it looks pretty. So I'm gonna add that one too. And that was it for this week's tutorial, which is my last boy style video. I got a really good response from you guys. Thank you. So I will probably make random kodona videos in the future, not just a clump of 4 videos for a month, but just little random videos here and there for the future. But this is it for Boy Style Month, and I will be returning next week with Lolita. And as I also try to balance between tutorials and me talking advicey where to buy things and hauls, I have a black blouse which I want to show you next week. So I'll see you again next Wednesday. Bye!